hilarious backstage bastards at Hototwenty, the home of hip hop and R&B. Check it out. 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 There's also doing the eye. Krs-one in the building tonight. Pass.
That's what's up, man. We got the one and only Krs-one in the building right now.
Yeah.
What's good?
I'm good. I'm good right now.
Yeah,
you had DOS effects on. That's that joint too.
Yeah, man.
Oh, come on.
That's what's up. You in Amsterdam again?
Yes, again.
How many times you been in Amsterdam?
Yeah, I got to bring this closer to me. Yeah, what? 20 years I've been coming. Well, we're really no. Like 15 years. Like I've been coming here since like the mid '90s. Stuff like that, but I didn't come here like a lot of the recording artists that usually come through. They stay in their hotel room, go down to City Square, and come back.
Yeah,
I like spots like this.
Yeah,
that's where I be at.
It's bringing you back a little bit.
This is it right here, Belma style.
Belma style. That's what's up. Yo, you got a lot going on this day or this whole week actually. After this, you're going to Belma Park Theater. You're going to do something. So I appreciate that you make some little time to come here to the radio station.
This is what it's all about. Like, you know, I haven't done a show here yet. Like, you know, I just docked about 2 days ago. I came across by cruise ship.
Okay.
So we docked in the port about 2 days ago. Got in, and my show doesn't start till The Hague actually. But this has to get done because before we touch the mic and do anything in terms of performance, art, or any of that, we like to deal with the intellect first. Deal with the education, the knowledge first, edutainment first. Talk about hip hop. Just what I just went through right here was just amazing. To hear people, not just speak myself, but to hear the thoughts of people coming back and saying, well, this is what's going on here in my hood. This is what I expect, and this is what hip hop is to me, and this kind of thing. I go back with a certain degree of scholarship myself. I'm not just here to impart knowledge. I'm here to get knowledge as well. So this is just, I'm total right now.
Do you think that it all changed hip hop?
You know, not really. It did. Of course it did. You can look now and see, just commercial radio and what's going on television. Hip hop is no longer what we all thought it was, what it actually is. That's no longer on television and radio, but that's good. I can't say radio. I mean, it seems to be happening right here. But that's the point. If only a few people really try to keep the essence alive, and it's also a privilege to do that. So it's not just, hip hop is not on mainstream anymore. The mainstream stopped really taking an interest in the hip hop. The money kind of fell off for them. The hip hop's not making the billions of dollars that it did in the 90s. It's making tens of millions, and that's not enough for them. But for us lowly hip hoppers, that'll be just fine. We'll take that, and that's what I'm actually teaching, is that this is a new lifestyle. This is no longer an issue of, when you was going to college, your mother would say, or your parents would say, make sure you get a college degree in case your rap career don't work out. Now it's make sure you can rap in case your college degree don't work out. This is what rap, DJing, forget celebrity. Okay, forget celebrity for a minute. The art of MCing and the art of DJing has become lifetime employment professions. I don't know if your audience is really hearing me right now. It don't matter if you're DJ Premier, Kid Capri, or whoever. The real issue, the real of it all, is if you can DJ, you can tour the whole world. Yeah,
because right now you got DJ lessons, rap lessons, all kinds of
you got people that we never heard before ripping down Hong Kong. Okay, we never ripping down Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Africa and the Bahamas, and you don't even know who they are. This is the greatness of hip hop. This is what we wanted it to be when Africa Bambaataa said Planet Rock. It was like everybody was supposed to be able to get in on this universal feeling that a school teacher, white woman school teacher, 55 years old, she should become a DJ and subsidize her salary every summer by taking vacations because she's a DJ. They're gonna fly her out to Texas. They're gonna bring her to,
So that term, right? Back in the days, they used to talk about keeping it real.
Yes.
Do you think that that term still lives right now when you talk about hip hop, keeping it real?
Yeah, people don't like the term. I mean, De La Soul kind of dissed it was keeping it right, and then that's more true to hip hop. That term, keeping it right.
But I will, cause my man said so for the light. You cried keeping it real, yet you should try keeping it right.
But keeping it real still has its place.
Yes.
And it still has its place because people are keeping it fake these days. They are. And so someone must say keep it real. And what does it mean to keep it real? It doesn't just mean to do it the way the people before you did it. It does mean respect for your ancestors. That's keeping it real. But it doesn't mean I gotta do it exactly the way my ancestors did, because my ancestors would say that's not keeping it real.
Yeah.
So what is keeping it real? It's a feeling. You can't even really say what's real without making it fake. You just gotta say, yo, keep it real. But there's no words to that. There's no book for that. You can't see that. You gotta feel that. What does it mean when I say, yo, keep it real? We're looking for truth. We're looking for authenticity in whatever you're doing and whatever you're about. Keep it real, man. Be honest about what you're saying or what you're doing, how you representing yourself and your people. Keep it real, man. Stay true to your art.
Yeah, and if you see the young cats, the young rappers doing a lot of raps with some dances in it and all that, does it disturb you to see that?
No, listen, nothing kids do disturb me.
Okay.
Kids are kids. They supposed to bug out and they're supposed to be beating their heads against the wall till blood come out and they say that's the new hip hop.
Yeah.
And kids are supposed to be wild. I tell you what bothers me is adults in hip hop. These so-called dudes, man, they know what the rules are, but they still manage to give the youth some nonsense and call it hip hop. You know what we was trying to do. You was there when Wu-Tang said to Mary J, "You my nigga."
Yeah.
And you knew that we wasn't dissing Mary J. She was singing, "Yo, all I need to survive." And he was like, "Shorty, you there for me anytime I need you? It's me in your world." We understand that. We know what that is. Yeah. But now these folks gonna come. You know you was dancing to meth and Mary J. Now you gonna say hip hop is misogynist toward women and now this, that, and the other. Because one or two rappers want to come out and actually make a song that girls like. Pop that coochie and I'm gonna get in you and all that, and girls be screaming like, yeah! They're not part of the culture. No. They just hear it and they don't even see like what's going on. People say all the time, they say, people, you know, they get mad at me when I say Nicki Minaj is the greatest MC ever.
Why do they get mad?
Because they can't see past that. They can't understand why I would say something like that. And the point of the matter is that, of course, she's not on the level of, say, OC or Lord Finesse, Supernatural,
Krs-one.
Pharaoh March. I would not even put myself there yet, not yet. But you know, she's not that. But that's not what she came. That's not what she's supposed to be. That's not who she is. That's not what we got to judge the lady for, or the persons. If you say Wayne, say Drake, you say even Kendrick Lamar, anybody. How did you come up? What did you first come out your mouth with rapping? How did you rap that? Out the gate, who are you? I want to see that till you die.
Okay.
I want to see that till you die.
But did she change a little bit?
No. If you really listen to Nicki's material, she paid dues. She actually rhymed the way everybody needed her to rhyme. But when you really look at who was rolling with her and what her full game plan was about, she came in and did what she came to do. Now we're trying to make her a Queen Latifah or Lil Kim or so, you know. No, she's not that. You know, and if you want that, let's get on Lauryn Hill. Come on, Lauryn, what's up with your new album? Like, what's up? Not the reggae stuff. I want hardcore hip hop from Lauryn Hill right now. Yeah. You know, where's Bahamadia at? You know what I'm saying? Where's Nicki D? Where's MC Light? Where's Heather B? Come on, where are these people at that you want to hear that from? Nicki's not that. She's made herself what it is she want to be. And I tell you the truth, it's great for hip hop. What we don't have is a balance to what Nicki's doing. Nicki's over the top. She's outrageous. But wasn't Digital Underground the same way? Wasn't Shock G with Do What You Like and all that? I mean, he was over the top. Flavor Flav, over the top. I mean, this is what hip hop is. It's like what it is. Everybody not gonna be conscious like KRS Poor Righteous Teachers, X-Clan. That's not.
You are now tuned into the Hototwenty, the home of hip hop and R&B.
But what got you started rapping?
Oh, well, I opened my refrigerator and it was empty. I said I should become an MC.
Yeah.
Nah.
Really?
Well, you know what? It wasn't like that, but I will say this, that it was on a level of survival. See, my story's a little different. That I was really blessed and privileged to be from the Bronx. I was born in Brooklyn. But my mom's moved to the Bronx right at 73 when Kool Herc was coming out. We was living right there. And I used to see the block parties go down. This was before it was called hip-hop. It was just a jam. It was before breaking or break dancing. It was just called the go-off. And Herc would play Apache. And we would get out there and just go off. We would do martial arts. We'd be doing like all kind of stuff. And then that became, so we later understood, the West Coast then came with poppin' and lockin', actually. Poppin' from Fresno and lockin' from California brought that to New York. We was already up rocking and spinning on our back from the Puerto Ricans and the Dominicans and the Cubans and everybody coming into New York. So all that came together. We was like, yo, it's called b-boying now. That's what it is. We dance to the breaks. And so Kool Herc was doing the breaks. Right when he was doing that, Africa Bambaataa, who was already known in the hood because he was down with the Black Spades, a huge family in New York, and he was down with them. He came back from Africa and said, I'm not down with that no more. It's called the Organization. And then from there he started Zulu Nation and started organizing people on the corner. And if you was down with Zulu, you had the beads on and all of this. Organized the whole neighborhood up. Then you got Flash. Right when Bam's doing that, Flash come in and starts cutting and scratching. After that, we was done. It was over. Flash is a certified electrician, my G. Certified electrician. Hip hop wasn't started by a DJ and an MC. Herc is a car mechanic. That's his profession. He breaks cars, he fixes cars. Bam is a writer. He won a writing contest to go to Africa.
Okay.
Grandmaster Flash is a certified electrician. Okay? A car mechanic, a writer, and an electrician started hip-hop. And this is the part that when you say, how did it start? Well, they opened up their refrigerators, and it was empty. And look at Flash, he's a certified electrician, but he's a black man at the time. And so it don't matter if you got a profession, if you good at what you do, you black, nobody want to hire you. These white racist unions don't even want to hire you. So here's Flash with a certified electronic degree, can't get a job. He's working as a bike messenger. That's what Flash was doing when he realized. He took the mic toggle switch, it's a mic off and on switch, and he rewired the off and on to be right and left. Woo!
Crazy, right?
These are geniuses we're talking about. Our history is just breezed over. Oh, he's a DJ, Grandmaster Flash. That idea of pulling a record back and making music with it while you got this new click, click, because it wasn't a crossfader. It was just click, 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 click like that. And he's clicking this thing and going back. This was genius. This was genius. I was blessed to be there every time. Every time hip hop made a move, I was either in the neighborhood, I was there watching it, or something in that to that extent.
And then there was a moment that you thought, yo, give me the mic, let me do something.
1977, New York had a blackout. I was already writing poetry to my mother.
Okay.
And, you know, I love you, Ma, and da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then New York had a blackout. And I saw what really blew my mind was that there was this woman, her name was Miss Brown. And she was like the Christian church-going, upstanding woman on the block. Everybody was looking at her like, look up to her. It's Miss Brown.
Yeah.
And her house was always together. And every time we went in front of her house, if we stood on she had a car, we leaned on the car, she'd yell out to her, don't lean on my car, get off my car. And we knew Miss Brown's house. She was like the upstanding lady of the block. So the blackout comes. All the power goes out in New York City. Everybody's rioting, grabbing, looting, guns out. Boom, you hear stuff popping off. I'm in Brooklyn, Flatbush, Church Avenue, East 35th Street. It's a war zone. This is getting in. They doing their thing. I look down the block. I see a woman running down the street with a TV and a shopping bag. It's Miss Brown. It's Miss Brown running. She had a TV, a little TV, and this is the 70s, so the TVs was big, square TV, okay?
The heavy one.
The heavy TV. She had a TV under her arm and a shopping bag. I don't even know what was in the shopping bag. She just had a shopping bag and a TV, and she was running down the street with everybody else. I was 12. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. And when I got home, when my mom's got home that night, and she was working when the whole blackout was, she ran home to get her kids. She ran home. She was like, y'all straight? Y'all all right? Oh my God. And I was like, Ma, wait. I saw Miss Brown. I saw Miss Brown. She was running with a TV. And my mother didn't care. She was like, like she could care less. But I was really, she saw that I was messed up. I was like, but Ma, this is Miss Brown. How she like, I saw Pookie and them and this one running around. She like them, Ma, like what? And my mother told me, never forget, she said, when the lights go out, that's when everybody becomes their true selves. When the lights go out. And I was just like, And from that day, I started writing rhymes about when the lights go out. What is the truth of things? What is the real reality of things? At 12, I got hit right there. And it started slow. I started writing like what I saw. I wrote about the blackout, stuff like that. But then I went to the Brooklyn Public Library. And on the walls of the library, they have knowledge in rhymes on the library wall. So that influenced me as well. I'd read the library wall. I'd be like, wow, there's knowledge on the wall in rhyme at the Brooklyn Public Library. Then Melly Mel would come out around 81 with The Message. And I get the dates mixed up, but right around that early 80s, we get The Message from Melly Mel, and I was done after that. You know, broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the station like he just don't care. He described the whole neighborhood to a T. I was like, this is what it is. We used to call it reality rap. That's what it used to be. Now it was labeled gangster rap. But it was called reality rap in the beginning. We just talk about what's real, what's going on. And that's all of these times I decided to pick up the mic. I picked it up, I put it down. I picked it up, I put it down. 1977, I picked up the mic. Then I left home. I was a runaway, ran away from home to be an MC and a philosopher. My mother didn't like it at all, but I left. I was about 15, 16, left home. And I put the mic down there because I was studying philosophy. I needed to know if God was real. I said, I'm going to die out in these streets. I need to know for real. And I did get my answer like you couldn't believe. But I jumped out there and I was like, yo, I'm going to be this MC. And so I started going to the jams all over New York because I was homeless. So I was just running around. But at the time I was a graffiti writer. So I'd be putting my name up, you know, KRS.
Got influenced by the writing in the library.
So yeah, probably.
You got influenced by the library wall.
Yeah, you know what? You know, now that I look back on it, I'm not mad at that. That may be an early influence. Looking back, no, because the knowledge was right there on the wall. And then on top of that, see, I'm also growing up in a time where there was graffiti on the subways. And there was a whole graffiti art culture on the subways. You used to look and know every Monday something was going to come out new and fresh. And it was all of that. It was all that. That with the jams. I put the mic down, I picked the mic up. I put the mic down, I picked the mic up. And finally, when I got to the shelter, it was this one shelter called the 166th Street and Boston Road Men's Shelter. 740 men, homeless dudes, some coming out of prison, drunks, drug addicts, this kind of thing. And it was a small section of us that was just young people that just had no family. And it was just us. It was me, it was Just Ice, a couple other people, and Levi 167 and all these people, and some graffiti writers, and all these people was just in the shelter together. And one day I was beating on the wall. We used to have ciphers in the bathroom, and the bathroom walls had this deep bass. Yeah. So my favorite beat was boom, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap, bap, boom, bap. And I was beating on the wall with that, and Just Ice would rhyme while I do the beat. And he was like rhyming, do his thing, that I may jump in and this kind of thing. So one night a security guard heard us, and he was a graffiti writer, but he was a security guard. So he said, yo, I got my man up the block, about 3 blocks away was Webster Projects. And he said, there's a guy named Said G who got a brand new sampler called the SP12, and you should go and take a look at that. So we went to Said G's house, picked up the mic again. And I'll never forget seeing Kool Keith walk around. He was like 11, real young. This would later become Ultramagnetic MCs, but at the time they was just Said G, and Keith, and somebody else, Mo, and so on. And Said G started laying down these beats. It was rawness. I never heard these type of beats because everybody was still using the drum machine beats. Run-D.M.C had the Lin drum and the DMX, so it was like the sounds out the drum machine. Booga booga boom 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 boom, and they had like that kind of rock sound, and it was rolling. I mean, Run-D.M.C, Rock Box, and My Adidas, and all of that was like those drum machines. Said G had the samplers. Ooh, he had James Brown up. He had all kind of samples, and I was just riding these beats like I do right now. You can turn the track up and I will show you how. Real freestyle, like off the top. This is how I used to do it when I was on the block. I could speed it up real quick in the interview and show you that it's really an inner view. This is how we used to do it, no vulture. I'm repping for the culture. This is a whole new sculpture. Krs-one, I'm making a DVD. You see me, I'm making a CD. Maybe we can sell it live on the tour, but I'm gonna come back and give you more. Now see that right there, it's like when Said G was doing his thing, that's how we jumped right on it just like that and just start spitting. And he recorded a whole bunch of stuff. And so what was so funny was in that same 166th Street men's shelter, while I'm recording with Said G, a new social worker comes into the shelter. His name was Scott Sterling. He's a new social worker. Now he come in, so just so happens he has charge of our section. There's 4 social workers and there's 4 sections for 740 dudes. So he has our section, so I gotta go see the social worker. I go to the social worker. Social worker says, what you gonna do with your life? What do you really wanna do with your life? How do you really wanna get it started? They have to ask everybody this. Where you working? What's your job? Are you going to school? I said, listen, I'm an MC and I study hip hop. This is what I'm about. Told Scott LaRock that's his name, Scott Sterling. He said, at that point, he said, I'm DJ Scott LaRock. If you real MC, let me hear something right now. So I just laced him right there. Instantly right there in the social worker's office, right there. And the other social workers, they clapped. And I was like, that's really good. And it was like, I did this whole round about nuclear war and all this stuff. And Scott was blown away. He was like, wow, okay, that's some real talent. So he said, where you record? I said, I don't have nowhere to record, but I'm recording with Said G. So he was like, Said? I know Said G, I know, you know. So the next time we had a session at Said G, Scott, the social worker for the shelter, he came over to Said G house. So he saw us getting down. Other MCs from the Bronx was in there, real gully ciphers. We in Said G's living room. It's smoky in there. He got his bed right there. The room is small, and it's his room. So it's like everybody's laying on his bed. Everybody's out. He got the 4-track up, and it's like we getting it in, and he's putting beat after beat. He's just hitting with beats and making tapes, and we just getting it in. So it was just like I realized quickly that what I was rhyming about, everybody else wasn't rhyming about. They was talking about they clothes, they girl, they this and they that. And I'm talking about Malcolm X and Black Panthers and the sky's falling and all of this stuff. And dudes was like looking at me like, wow, Like, you know, because back then it wasn't like you would cheer it on, but it wasn't like it was whack. It was just like
It's different.
You're just different. Like, it was no reaction, you know, like that. You know, so it was just like I had to, you know, get myself together with that, and I started writing battle rhymes. And then I discovered my freestyle ability. So then the guys that was in Said G's room, we just started battling. And then it turned into that. And that's how really then Scott started to take a liking to me, because he had a bunch of MCs around him. But I was hungry because I was homeless. These guys went home at night, ate good meals. Me, when we finished performing, I went and slept on the train. Like, you know, like it was a whole different experience for me. You know, these dudes ate that day. My stomach was growling, like, for real. Like, I'd be lucky to get a sandwich that day. You know, like D-Nice, his record, Call Me D-Nice, I wrote that for him for a sandwich.
Damn.
Okay.
For a sandwich. I said, I asked for a couple of dollars. I was like, yo, D, I'm busted. I was homeless. This is like back in the days. I said, yo, D, I'm busted, man. What's up? He was like, yo, write me a rhyme, man. I'll buy you something. I was like, bet, no problem. Boom! Here, say this, you'll rock any party. And that's it. He bought me a sandwich. And that was it. It was a sandwich. I ate the sandwich. He made the record.
Was the sandwich good?
It was the best sandwich of my life. I wouldn't be speaking to you today if I didn't get it. But that was the truth. But that's how it was for me. And so Scott saw the hunger, and it just so happened that he took me in the studio, and you know, he was the one with the money too. So he got his check, and we went in the studio and recorded a song called Elementary and a song called Criminal Minded, just the song Criminal Minded. And we took that around to all the labels. They dissed us. Everybody said, you ain't, you know, nothing. You ain't getting nothing. This is whack. You don't sound like Run-D.M.C. You don't sound like LL Cool J. You don't sound like Houdini or the Fat Boys. You're getting no deal. So we went and found these gangsters that were actually doing porn, actually. But they wanted to start a record company. And so we said, okay. And we went right in and got the biggest ripoff ever. But we started, we took those two records, we took it to the Juice Crew, to Mr. Magic, rest his soul. Mr. Magic, and Magic supposedly disregarded us and said, this is garbage, this is whack, and we getting this through an engineer, like a middle person. The middle person said, Magic said it was whack. So I was like, whack? There ain't nothing whack about this. MC Shan is whack. And then we said, so I started writing out. And then I wrote this one joint. It wasn't supposed to come out. I wrote this song called The Bridge Is Over. And I wrote that, and I was just like, nah, forget it. Why am I starting something with these dudes? Let me just forget it. And then I wrote the South Bronx. And it was really about the history of hip-hop. Like way back in the days when hip-hop began with Kool Herc, and I would just go on with that. And then I did it for Scott. We were practicing one day at his house, and he threw on this beat, hey, bro, I got that good Chiba Chiba. Hey, bro. And the beat goes boom, boom. Hey, bro, got that good Chiba. And it's like that. He was cutting that up. And I did, many people tell me this style is terrific, and I went ahead and did that. And it was just, he just sat back and was like, wow, where do you get this stuff from? And I was in there just dancing. So we went to the studio the next day, and we spent $50, and we recorded the South Bronx. One take, one time. All went down.
Yeah.
And from there, that's how it began, from the South Bronx, which challenged MC Shan, who was actually battling LL Cool J at the time. I intercepted the battle and said,
hold on, I got something to say.
You want to try to take out LL, you need to take your homeboys. And I went into that. And
you had the rhyme laying right there, so.
And it was right there. But what was interesting was once the South Bronx came out, what was interesting was that MC Shan answered me. And it became the bridge. Then I was able to scurry along and grab The Bridge Is Over, which was written first. Yeah. And I wrote that, and then I said, let me just lay this down real quick. and that's what it was. But I tell you, to this day, my career would be nothing without MC Shan, Marley Marl, Shantae, Magic, all of it. My career would be nowhere without these people. I say that to this very day. Big up to the Juice Crew.
So you needed that beef.
I needed that. I needed that. And no, I needed that that authenticity. MC Shan didn't have to answer me at all.
True, because,
he was already large. He was already the man. But he answered me and said, "Nah, I'm a real MC. Let's battle." And because of that, I got a chance to get on. So who really won the battle? Really, he put me on. And big respect go out to Shan, to Marley, to Magic, to all of them for even being there for me to have somebody to battle, you know, and show that. So respect.
You are now tuned into the Hototwenty, the home of hip hop.
Thank you for this. I want to ask one more, just one quick question, because I want to know one thing. Then you need to leave. You need to go to Belmont Park Theater. Which MC right now, doing this thing right now, do you feel, besides Nicki Minaj, we know that, but male MCs?
Oh man, I go right to Joell Ortiz. Slaughterhouse is doing a good thing. Joell Ortiz in Slaughterhouse. No diss to anybody else, of course. Don't start getting egos. But no, Joell is my man on that. Out of the group, I actually listen to Joell's albums. He has his own albums. You know what I'm saying? And his style, the way he's coming off, he's keeping the tradition of the Bronx alive. He's keeping a lot of what we used to do alive. You know, punchline rhymes that may not make the radio, but you just love hearing them. Nice tales about the hood, not just I'm going to tell you about my hood, but very poetic, very colorful. Joell Ortiz, of course, Immortal Technique is doing his thing. New album is hot as well. You know, that's really, I mean, and then everyone else like that. It becomes at that point I start fizzing out into people's demos and stuff that I collect on the road that I hear. I try to stay close to the mic, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time, man.
I thank you for this, man. No doubt. Thanks for opening that up.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? I almost want another beat real quick. It's all good. I gotta leave.
All right, Krs-one at Hototwenty, the home of hip hop and R&B, and it's a lovely thing.
Here's a real motherfucking exclusive they don't have.
Brand new song. Stop. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Hit it.
Keep your radio right here, baby.
Hototwenty, the home of hip hop and R&B.
Just saying. Hit that rawness, Big L. Rest in peace. You out?
Ja, come on, Krs-one.
Oké, hij gaat met jullie mee, toch? Hij gaat niet met jullie mee, toch? Oké, iemand moet met hem meerijden en in deze camera handelen. Kan dat?
You are now tuned into the Hototwenty, the home of hip hop and R&B.